Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin and today we are going to be diving in to see what blessings you have in store for the month of May. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so welcome back to the channel, everyone who joins me for these Monday readings, and most importantly, these blessings readings, because this is actually my 12th one. And if you guys do the math, this is actually the last video I have, the last Monday before I've hit a year on this YouTube channel posting videos, because I actually started next week a year ago doing these videos for each of you. So I'm really excited. This is my final blessings video for wrapping up a year on this channel, but don't worry, I'm still going to be bringing out content. I'm still going to be bringing out wonderful videos for you guys, and I'm still going to be doing these blessings videos. It's just going to restart a new year, and I'm so immensely proud of myself to continue doing these videos, but also mostly I'm so proud of the beautiful community we've grown in a year, these wonderful kindred spirits that I call you guys, because you really truly are. I wouldn't just call you guys subscribers, I really do call you kindred spirits, because I've met so many of you through my Instagram DMs, talking in the comments and all sorts of things, and you guys have really told me wonderful personal things, personal battles and things that you've gone through for yourself and the healing that you've gotten from these videos, and I don't know, just so immensely grateful. And I really want you guys to know how much I truly do appreciate you and appreciate everyone who likes and has subscribed and joined this community. And with that all said, I do want to give back to the community a little bit more, and what better way to do that than to support one of the kindred spirits that watch each of these videos and has really been here since the very beginning of my channel. And that's Rose from Rose Witchery. She just started up her own personal channel a few months ago, and she does readings just like this and does her own personal spin on it, as well as these Witchy Wednesday videos where she does her own personal ideas on witchcraft and all that kind of fun stuff. So if you want to support a wonderful kindred spirit as well, we are collabing actually with this video where I'm going to be talking about your monthly blessings. She is going to be bringing out and talking about what you learned in the past month, so more like your monthly reflections for the previous month, so April in this case. So if you want to support another wonderful person here, and if you guys have any channels or other things that you want me to support, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to support you guys in all that you do. You guys know that, so feel free to give her a little bit of love and watch her after this video. It's going to really help bring these blessings out for each of you. So I am curious if it corresponds or if they connect. So let me know in the comments down below or on her video. I'll be checking those out. But yeah, so anyway, before I waffle on anymore, I'll just say quickly, if you are new and you're like, what is happening? Feel free to subscribe and join in on the monthly videos that I do for your blessings, as well as timeless readings like what are your spiritual and magical gifts and abilities, as well as what makes you lucky and love messages and all sorts of things, as well as sort of weekly readings as well. So if you're interested in any of those, feel free to subscribe, as well as for my creative content and witchery as well. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and start diving into your piles. So as you can see, I decided to go for a floral theme, as well as some of the theme that I had from my luck video, because I couldn't help myself. I was feeling the rainbows and the beautiful flowers, so I decided to bring some of those props back. But here with pile number 1, we have here a shell. So this is just a beautiful little river shell, a little scallop, as well as a little bit of foliage here and a little rock with a painted rainbow. It took me forever to figure out what this is called, a rainbow. So there you are with pile number 1 with a beautiful rainbow and this scallop shell. For pile number 2 here, I decided to bring out this glass ladybug again for you all to enjoy, as well as this beautiful little daisy-like flower. I'm honestly not sure exactly what type of flower this is, so let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know. But here we are with this beautiful flower for pile number 2. And then lastly here for pile number 3, we have this little pressed violet, as well as these dried purple flowers and this beautiful little heart key. So that is pile number 3. So these are your 3 piles to choose from today. You can choose all 3 or just 2 or whatever combination you'd like. There is no right or wrong way to do it. But before you choose, let's go ahead and take a deep cleansing breath together so you can really make a better intuitive choice. So let's go ahead and take that deep breath together here now. And as I mentioned, there's no right or wrong way to choose. You can choose all 3 piles, 2 piles, 1 pile, choose a pile, change your mind, whatever you need to do, flip-flop as you'd like, and play around and explore. I am right here with you with whatever choice you decide to make. But if you already know which pile is for you, feel free to go down in the description below or use the chapter marks provided within the video to find your specific timestamp to each of the piles, so it's easier to navigate. But also down in the description below, like I said, I'll have Rose's channel, so please give her some love, as well as her video where you can check out her reflections. And also, if you're interested in a private reading, I'll also have all of that provided down below, as well as the decks and supplies that I use. So if any of that interests you, that'll be down below. But for today, we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose the pile with this shell as well as these other 2 items with this rainbow and this little plant, then this is the pile for you for the month of May and the May blessings that are coming into your life for this month. And today we are going to be using the charms again. We're also going to be using these watercolor affirmation cards, the Muse Tarot, the Language of Flowers deck, and the Celtic Lenormand. And yes, there is a floral theme. I was just really feeling the floral decks with the beautiful colors that are coming out and all of the gorgeous growth for spring. So I had to bring in some flowers for you guys today. So yeah, let's go ahead and start diving in. Oh, and we're also going to be using the letter tiles. So let's go ahead and dive in, like I said. So today we are going to be using the Muse Tarot to look into what is coming in for you within the next month for blessings. Wow, you guys. Wow, okay, so we're already having cards just flying out left and right. And the cards that you received are the Muse of Materials. So this is like the King of Materials, or the King of Earth, or also known as the King of Pentacles. It took me a minute to get there. And then we also have the Muse of Voices, which would be the King of Swords. But what I think is interesting is you have 2 of the muses coming up here, which both have these beautiful pathways that have been created in this deck. And then on top of that, you have the 5 of Materials coming in with another pathway being shown. So it's almost like there's 3 different paths that you could take within this month, and certain ones will have different kind of outcomes that are coming in here for me. That's what I'm first seeing, which I think is really interesting and quite rare. I've not had this happen with this deck before, so I think it's really interesting. So we'll see what else there's coming in for you for blessings that are coming in for the month of May for group 1 here. What does group 1 need to know? Group 1 with these pathways. What do they mean? Any clarity for group 1 here? Oof. Okay. Right, so the first card that you got here was the Moth Orchid with Communication. Listen and speak with greater care. So that is your oracle message here from the flowers. But we're going to get some more information using these Lenormand cards. So what's coming in here for blessings for group 1 for the month of May? Any energy, insights, or guidance as well? And clarity on these pathways. What do we need to know about these pathways for group 1? What blessings lie beneath them? Feel free to send your energy on through the screen, through time and space, so we can see what comes in here for you guys. Okay, so another communication card here with the chickens. And the Lenormand cards here have different associations with playing cards. So we have the 7 of Pentacles being shown here, as well as the number 12. So that may resonate different for each of you. But that does come up, so that may help you kind of decipher what this is about. But let's go ahead and look at your final message before we do the charm casts later on with both the letter tiles and the charms. But let's see what affirmation is coming in here for you, group 1. Okay. Ooh, that's a fun one. Okay, this one hasn't come up for a while, and I feel like it only comes out like in very special readings and occasions. So this is really sweet because you have here shoot for the stars, and the fact that you have all these pathways and these almost like opportunities being brought out to you, I think that's really sweet, and it really does connect with what's happening here. So we have shoot for the stars. But let's go ahead and start diving into your messages here, group 1. So like I said, you have 3 different pathways being shown here, almost like you have 3 different opportunities that you could take and step forward into. So I'm not really seeing these as like knights or really big like figures in your life, although they could be. So if you have like more king-like figures in your life, which are ones of authority, possibly more masculine, that kind of thing, where they have like a lot of authority and that kind of energy of like power, both in career and in the way that they communicate and the knowledge that they seek, that might be coming in. But what I love about this deck is they talk about muses. So muses are like, to me personally, they talk about obviously the pathway, like I mentioned before, but with the earth and air element here being really shown, when you put earth and air together, they tend to not really have like an association like where clay is water and earth, and where fire and earth can create like pottery and stuff. Air and earth don't always perfectly communicate with each other. They're almost on like opposite spectrums, but I feel like you're being told to bring them together in some way and make that work together. You're like the air dry clay. That just like came to me like a more nostalgic message there, but I really do think that you're heading on a new path, probably because you come from a path that you almost maybe weren't, I feel like you weren't trying to look out for a new path. Like maybe you were kind of put into a position where you had to look for a new path, possibly in your career, your finances, within your money and your income, because we have here the 5 of Pentacles, or the 5 of Materials here. And as you can see, it's not like a path that you want to go on, because the path that, like here in the background, there is a really lovely path, like where these muses are taking you, but it seems like within the past couple months or the past few months, you've been in a darker place, possibly a darker place mentally, possibly a darker place because of a physical ailment, or it could also be because there was just not as much money as you needed, or not as much abundance, or there wasn't as much gratitude in your life, or something like that was kind of bringing you down. And what's important about this 5 of Materials is the fact that you weren't, as you can see, you're very like isolated. You don't really have a lot of people you're talking to, especially if you've been in isolation a lot recently, with the type of year we've had. That would not surprise me. And there is always a breaking point for each of us where we need that communication to come back in, because you have so many communication cards coming in. And then that shoot for the stars is almost making me think like you're just heading out, you're like able to actually express yourself and see things again. And the blessings that are coming in is that you're able to actually see opportunity where you didn't see opportunity before, which I believe is just such a special and beautiful message to have coming in, especially when you're in these types of places, these ruts, these deeper, darker times, these times that just can feel like there is no light, there are no stars, the clouds are like covering it. But I really do see that you're going to start seeing opportunity again, and you're going to be able to head away from where you were before, away from what was holding you possibly back, holding yourself back, or being able to free yourself from this isolation, talk to other people again, communicate in other ways where you weren't before, and ask for help. That's what this card also talks about, is asking for help. So this is the month, if you were looking for that like kingly figure or these muses, so someone that can help you along this path, that can actually, take your hand and kind of guide you along, even in a more spirit guide kind of way. I really do see that you're able to find new paths of talking and communicating, like I was talking about before, where I really do see like that path of communication. But on top of that, outside of just like talking with friends again or communicating with someone in some way, I also do see a new career path, a new financial path, a new passion project possibly as well coming in. But with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on, because you do have all these beautiful communication cards, all this wonderful support on your side, because the muses are like high figures of authority. Like they're people who are really they have the power to really help you out. So definitely let them come into play there and communicate with them so that you can, find a way out of where you're at currently, in the ways that you need to. So those are the big blessings coming in for you with that shoot for the stars as well. So let's go ahead and move on to your letter tiles and see what's coming in here. So this could tell us names, dates, places, oracle messages, but let's see. So group 1 here, group 1, May blessings. What do we need to know for the blessings for group 1 for May? Okay, so first off, right away, I see a few different things. So we see here first with T-R-A, and E, we have here T, and then we also have like tear, which is making me think like a few different things when you break down this word. First off, it has ear in it, which is telling us about listening. So maybe you felt like people weren't listening to you, that even if you were sending out these like stars of communication, people weren't really taking that or helping guide you on your way. So it may be that this new path, like I said, could be guided by someone coming in and they're going to be this blessing, or it can be that you are going to have to tear yourself personally away from this isolation, get out of your comfort zone and head on a new path. Be sure that the people around you, and I didn't really talk about this too much because I wasn't really feeling it too much, but just in case, that you don't have people around you, especially because this chickens card always makes me think of them like clucking around and just spreading all this gossip and these words, and the way that their communication can be like, tearing you up, or it can be a situation that's still going to bring you down or disempower you. And I really think when you're shooting for the stars, you have to shoot for the people that are really going to be there for you, that aren't tearing you apart, that actually listen to what you need to, like what you need to be heard, like what needs to be heard from your soul. And then also that they aren't listening to, all this gossip or spreading lies or spreading, like these hateful words, even if they're like just condescending or something like that. Be sure that the people that you are going to reach out for help are ones that are going to be true blessings for you. Really use your intuition here, as well as the logical side of yourself. The other thing I do see here as well is the name Ray. So this could be the person that you need to look out for, or it could be the person that is going to be like leading you down this path. It could be different from each of you. But we also have the letters I, O, L, A, and O. I also see Teo, so that could be again another person coming in. I also see Tool, which is interesting as well. Like there's tools coming in that are going to be a blessing. So maybe you're getting a new tool, like in a more physical sense, like you're literally going to the store and picking out a new tool that you didn't have before for a project or passion that you're heading on with these mused paths. But I also do think that tools are about empowering us to be able to make steps forward, right? That's what tools are supposed to do, to make things easier, to make things simpler. So use people and communication as your highest and greatest tool as well this month, especially if it's been where this isolation has been there. It's going to be your biggest tool. And then lastly here, I see I, 2, and then I see, well, it doesn't fully say 2 here, I guess, because I'm going to have to steal a letter, but I do see like I too late, right? Like I am too late, or I'm too late, or something like that, where I feel like you feel like there's this pressure, or you've had this pressure previously, either from other people, like that gossipy pressure, or because of just in general time, or feeling like you're supposed to be at a certain point at this point in your life, like some sort of like ticking down like of a clock. And I feel like you just feel like you're too late. It's too late. I'm either past that point, or I've waited too long to ask for help, or people aren't going to get it, or whatever it is, whatever you're trying to use as a reason for why you cannot get to, one point to the other, why this bridge can't, why it might feel locked to you, is because you have this feeling in your mind that things are too late, that this is just too far past you. Put the curtain down, you're over it. But the blessing is that it's not too late. It's never too late to take up your passions. It's never too late to head on that trip. It's never too late to find a new career if you're feeling really pigeonholed at this point. There's so much opportunity and an abundance of opportunities around us. It has a lot to do with perspective and changing our perspective, but it also has to do with finding those opportunities as well, allowing yourself to explore them. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to your charms, because you know me, I could talk forever on these letters. But let me know in the comments down below, as always, what you guys see in the letters personally. Like if there's something that really is standing out to you, if you saw like a friend's name or something else that really struck your fancy and you're curious, or you want to explore that in the comments, feel free to let me know. I'm always curious. But let's go ahead and move on to your charms, group 1. So group one here, we're looking for May blessings. The blessings for group 1. What do we need to know in blessings for group 1 and clarity on these paths, these muses paths for group 1? Okay, so we got a few messages here. As always, I'm going to pick up the ones that fell upside down and sort of sort some of these out so we can really see the full picture here. A lot of it fell towards the left side, which has to do with intuition, things that we haven't taken a lot of action on, but have been thinking about, things that are just kind of like sticking in our brains. So that's really interesting that you don't really have a lot falling to this side, truly. But yeah, okay. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can see all of these with me. There's nothing missing on the rest of the casting cloth here, so we're going to just go ahead and dive right on in. So first off, here in your central ring, we have the peace sign, which is all about, slowing down and taking time for yourself, making peace with a situation or with someone. And the fact that you had both those muses, and then you're getting 2 more muses here, which is interesting too, that you have an air sign here and you have a earth sign. So like I said, you had these 2 sort of king-like figures or muses or people who are going to help you on your path. And one of them is highly communicative, and one of them is much more of an earthly figure with career and all of that. So what is interesting though is you have here Gemini, and then you also have Virgo showing up. The Virgo one fell more towards this perspective, but with Gemini we had more of it actually giving us an oracle communication message. So intelligence is what showed up here. So if you're talking to a Virgo or a Gemini, they may be the ones that are actually on your side this month and can give you the stability and the paths that you're looking for. So definitely look into Geminis and Virgos, especially Geminis, when it comes to trying to either communicate in a certain way towards someone, or also to bring about that intelligent side of yourself, so learning or knowledge. And in doing so, you're going to be able to find more peace of mind where you weren't before with that 5 of materials. And then you also have the thimble, which is all about protecting yourself and finding stability as well. So it's very structured too, because you wear a thimble to protect yourself from that needle, to protect yourself from those people who are just coming in your life and trying to throw all these these ideas at you, trying to throw intelligence in your face, trying to be condescending, whatever it is, you're going to be protected under their, not only their protection, because I don't want to say like it's only them that are making it this way, because you have a ton of power in your own soul and being to deflect these. So I really do feel like they're just gonna bring that out in you versus thinking that they are the ones that are actually putting up that protection. A lot of it's going to be coming from yourself. The other things we have coming up here is, again, more of that information like I was talking about, where there's that gossip, that condescendence, that like, I just really feel like somebody is just like backstabbing you, but in like a passive aggressive way, because we have here, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. So this is like a friend who's just like not really being very friendly towards you. So we have that showing up. And what's interesting too is you have the number 5, which is about change. It's also like transformation, but it also is the number of conflict. So I really do feel like there could be some conflict going on with them, some clearing of the air, and then you have the transformation charm as well. So I really do think there's something that needs to that is hindering you within one of your friends or your so-called friends, depending on how you view them. But there's some sort of like closure or need to move on there, because you also have the closure charm here, as well as the hacksaw. So the hacksaw talks about things being sawed off, but not in like a really easy way. So like I said, you may have a friend or a family member who you have to just sort of put up these boundaries, and they may not take them very well, because you do have the saw, which is about, a hacksaw. It's like really hacking away. It's not going to do these clean cuts. So it's not going to be maybe as easy, and there is a caution hat showing up here too. So tread with caution, tread lightly on the subject, but still be assertive and firm in your beliefs and in the things, because you have the empowerment charm of the Mickey hat, which also is a spiritual charm too. So it can be, again, like a more spiritual message or magical message of needing to protect yourself or ground yourself down in your own beliefs and your own boundaries and your own being, and the fact that you are the one that actually is the source of this power. These people may be helping you on your path and giving you peace of mind, but at the end of the day, you are actually going to be the one bringing that stability into your life that you so seek. And the other thing too you have here is the this I always think of like a flashlight or a headlight. I feel like it's just someone really shining and shedding like a really sometimes harsh light, but it is one that is needed, right? So we have that showing up here, and then we have the gun, which talks about this talks about like don't jump the gun, don't jump, trying to be too fast or trying to do something too quickly, and you're just like bam, 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 And that's showing up near this headlight. So like I said, when it comes to trying to bring up some of these subjects with someone whom isn't maybe going to take it as well, but there is need for change there, definitely tread lightly and not have this harsh light, but one that is still needed. So it might take a couple more conversations than one big blow up, if you know what I mean. Especially since communication is such a forefront in the blessings for your month. So I really do think something beautiful can come from asking for the boundaries, not just asking, but telling what boundaries you need, and them being respected. But also, if they're not respected, knowing that you have to just go your own way, and maybe they're not going to follow the same path that you have, but you're going to have, made and empowered yourself through that process of communicating instead of isolating yourself. So that's super wonderful to see. And I hope you all enjoyed this reading here with me today. Like I said, I really do think you're just heading on a new path, either a new career path or a new way of communicating with another person, or both. That is going to empower you this month. So definitely keep shooting for those stars, because they really are out there for you to seek. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please feel free to let me know in the comments if anything really resonated with you, if you had a specific charm or card or something that really spoke to you in some way and you'd like to let me know. I'm always so curious. Also, please be sure to give this video a like if you really did like it. It really does help this channel continue to grow, and I appreciate it so much. And also feel free to subscribe if you aren't already, and join this beautiful community of kindred spirits. And lastly, if you haven't already checked out Rose's video about what she's going to dive into, is really about like the last month and what you learned within the previous month of April. So that's going to be a really wonderful video, and it's a great place and a new channel to support. So feel free to give her some love, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hello group 2, if you've decided to choose this little ladybug as well as this beautiful flower, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to set this down gently so you can see it during your reading today, as we are going to be looking into your personal May blessings. So we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using the letter tiles today, as well as the Celtic Lenormand deck, the Language of Flowers deck, and the Muse Tarot. So I definitely had a floral theme. I was really feeling spring. So sorry to those of you who are in the southern hemisphere and are all geared up for fall, but I'm just really feeling that spring vibes energy. But this is still just as much for you guys as well, no matter where you are on the beautiful earth that we live. So let's go ahead and start looking into your messages for May. So what do we need to know for May blessings? Group 2. We're looking for group 2. What do we need to know for group 2 for their May blessings? So we have here first the 4 of emotions. Let's see what else is coming out here for you for May blessings. The blessings that are coming in for May. Ooh, we also have here the star. I love this star card. It's so beautiful. And just really hits me in the feels with how beautiful that star card is, not only in messages, but also in the way that it views. But let's see what else. Okay, so we also have here both the 4 of inspiration and here the Empress. So you actually have 4 cards here, a lot of like warm and cool tones, very like earth meets water and air meets like this fiery energy showing up here. But we'll see what else here comes in for you for the month. Like I said, that star card's really showing up for me, and I really see it here, especially with this Empress, where the star is almost coming out here. So I think that the imagery in this deck is so wonderful to work with for you guys. So let's see what else is coming in for your month for blessings. Group 2. What do we need to know for group 2 for their blessings for the month of May? For group 2 here. And feel free to send your energy in. There we go. So we have here the bear, and its playing card association is the 10 of clubs or the 10 of wands, and then you also have 15, but there is the bear card. I always feel like she looks like a mama bear, which is really interesting too here with the Empress. So especially mothers out there, there are definitely messages of blessings coming in here for you, almost like a slow down kind of feeling is what I'm getting, in celebrations, possibly birthdays with your kids. But let's see what else is coming in for group 2. Group 2. We're looking for May blessings for group 2. So we also have absence. What is not here is the key. Like I said, there's like this respite, kind of like taking some time off, chilling out a little bit kind of energy that I'm getting, like an absence, like needing to like clear some time in your schedule for yourself and for your kids and for your like almost family or your soul family or something like that is showing up here. Let's see what else there is for you. So we're going to go ahead and do a watercolor affirmation, but stay tuned later for the charms and the letter tile casting to get even more of those nitty-gritty details. But let's see the May blessings for group 2 here. What do we need to know in blessings? Ooh, okay. So you have 2 here that showed up. You have pain is a part of growing. And then you also have here, let go of what you cannot control. So these are 2 very linked cards, I feel like. I feel like there's this pain that comes from the fact that you're trying to control too much, especially if you are a mother or if you have this nurturing element towards your family or your friends and you wanting to control their actions. And not in like a controlling way, but if you've been personally lately trying to control their path or try to nudge them in a certain way so that they can avoid pain or avoid indifference or trying to avoid some sort of conflict. I feel like you're trying to possibly like mother bear them away, or try to bring them other resources, or try to put them in out of that situation. And I really do see that it's not going to give them the full picture. They're not going to be able to grow into the person that they need to be, or you're not letting your friend or that family member grow into what they need to be. This experience may be something that they not necessarily need to go through, because I don't feel like there's like that whole divine timing. We need to go through these dark times to come out to the light ones. And I do think that in retrospect, that is important to get that reflection and to bring that wisdom from darker times. But I don't think it's important to just inflict dark times on people, right? There's a balance there. But I think at this time, they may be going through something and you're trying to possibly put like a Band-Aid on it. And I think that it's really important during this month to be a blessing to them by letting them heal where they need to, instead of just trying to close it off or not allow them to reflect or grow through what they've gone through. Or even yourself, if this is you, and you feel like other people are kind of trying to get in and, bring you these things and bring you some treats, or trying to, make you like watch movies, or trying to give you comfort food, or whatever it is to try to cope, when all you need is the healing, or all they need is the healing. Because we do have the Star card here, which is all about healing. It's all about inner knowing, inner healing, washing away pain, but not in a way that is like just dismissing it, but allowing yourself to truly heal through it by feeling it, expressing yourself through it, finding very not just comforting ways, but trying to find ways to process it. So that's really what's coming in here too, because there is this processing, this beam of light. I feel like she's really processing what she's going through. She's holding it. She's not trying to push it under the rug. She's shedding light on it. And you also have here the Four of Emotions showing up here too. And like I said, there's that whole picture, right? So there's this wisdom that comes from that knowing what's happening. So if you have kids right now, or if you have nieces or nephews or friendships that you're trying to, or family members even, doesn't really matter the age. There's just someone who needs to grow through something. And you may have all this beautiful experience that you've grown through, right? Like I feel like there's this connection here. Like you're going to be like, well, I've gone through this. I know what you should do. I know how you're going to be able to get through this, and all these encouraging affirmations and words. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's going to really come down to their own personal inner growth, so that they can get to this level of wisdom and knowledge that comes with a lot of years and time. And experience. Outside of that, though, you do have, like I said, some celebrations coming in here, because you have the Four of Wands, or the Four of Inspiration. So group gatherings, small group gatherings may be coming up here for some of you. There's also this like really like calming soul level experience too. Like I really feel like maybe some of you guys are going on a retreat or something like that, like a meditation retreat, or really connecting with people on a soul level in a different way. Personally, I've been going to the Akashic Records more often. So for those of you who know what I'm talking about, that may be a place that you're going to go to really connect with other people, connect on a soul level too, because like there are these like beams, which is just making me think that it's not about going to a celebration or going to some big event. It's about making the big event be about seeing these people, versus the other way around. The other blessings that are coming in here too, though, with the Empress, is that she is very abundant, and she is also very nurturing. So even though you may not be able to help with this pain situation and this controlling situation, you are possibly growing something. So this could be a literal growth, like growing a garden, or, growing something else, but it could also be expansion of your own ideas, growing and expanding in your own personal ideas of like more psychological or philosophical kind of reasoning and experiences on that level, like a very like much higher ideas of truth and who you are and identity and ego. So some of those like bigger, heavier elements you may be expanding and growing within, especially with other people. Like I said, there is this connection here and like an inner knowing. The other thing too with the bear is this, like I said, you're trying to bear it all for someone, and trying to like bear and hold on to their own trauma or their own healing when you can't. But the other thing too is you do have resources that are coming in. So where you may be abundant in ideas and expansion within your career or your ideas, you also have new resources coming in, like a new tip, like bigger tips. You may be getting more, a higher raise or some sort of new pay or a job that comes in that's going to help provide. That also could be a blessing that's coming in here in disguise this month. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and move on to your letter tile cast, and later on your charm tile or charm cast rather, and we'll see what else is coming in some of those details, maybe what other things that we can expand upon. So here we are with the letter tiles. So we're going to look into these to see names, dates, places, oracle messages that come in, and whatever your intuition really sparks up to. So when I place these down, feel free to look and rearrange the messages and the letters to see what comes in for you personally. So group two, we're looking for May blessings. The blessings that are coming in for those here in group 2 for May. What do we need to know? What clarity, insights, guidance, energy for May for group 2. Okay, gave you guys quite a few. So we have here, first off, pub showing up, which makes me think of, like, again, a gathering of some sort, or getting, I always think of those sorts of environments. They're always about, getting together in smaller groups, or like that smaller kind of scene. But that is coming up here. I also see PUBU, A, D, I, E, and V. I also see ID coming up here, so definitely with this going on here, make sure you know what you're up to. I also am seeing a lot of vowels that are coming in here too, and also pave came in here quite strongly. So I feel like somebody, you're trying to either, like I said earlier, trying to pave a path of identity for someone else. Maybe you're expanding on your own identity and your own ideas. Right? You're paving new paths in your ideas. I can spell, I promise. But I really do see like I also am seeing Uber here. So like if you're maybe driving more or going on more explorative things or something like that. But I do see pave idea. So I really do think you're being told by spirit, or being told by these letter tiles, to pave a new idea or pave a new path and really take on that. Don't hold yourself back there, because it is ready to expand. You're ready for it. They don't think that you need to wait any longer, and that's only just going to hinder your growth and hinder that expansion of ideas that you have. I also see Dave coming up here, as well as Bud. So this is making me think of like a budding of love for yourself, or self-love, that's coming in here too. And like I said, I feel like you've been nurturing so many other people and trying to take away their pain, that you haven't been taking a lot of time to really focus on yourself. So this is the month to really focus on yourself when you can. You cannot hold everybody's pain. You cannot hold and bear everybody's tragic moments, everybody's small, things that they can't control. You can't control it either. So definitely allow yourself to just control what you can, and let everything else flow as it needs to, because we can give advice, we can help in the small ways that we can, but we definitely can't dictate where they're going to go or have power over them and their own personal identity, their own personal path that they're on. But with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to your charms group 2 here. Let me know if other words showed up for you, or if you decided to use this as a great intuitive practice and write all of the letters down and scramble them up or something like that. I'd love to know what comes up for you personally. I always think this is a lot of fun, so let me know in the comments down below, and we'll go ahead and move on to your charms. So here we go, group 2 here. Group 2, what do we need to know for group 2, for the blessings that are coming in May for group 2, as well as any energy, insights, or guidance? So group two, May blessings. Okay. So as always, I'm going to go ahead and pick up all of the ones that fell upside down or in weird ways, and we'll see what comes up. So that's so interesting that one showed up there. I'll show you in just a moment when you can actually see it up close. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can see all of the charms a little bit easier here. But here in your central, well, let me just kick the charms around, but here in your central ring, or the heart of your month, the heart of your blessings, we have not only I, like I was talking about earlier, but you have I showing up here again, as well as the number 1, which is all about yourself, taking time for yourself, your number 1, your first priority. So that is definitely a blessing, and it's about anchoring yourself into that idea, because you've been really wishy-washy on it, or wishy-washy on something recently. You've been going back and forth, because we have the pendulum charm, and you're not really allowing yourself to, 1, listen to your own intuition and needs, and 2, allowing yourself to stop and rest every once in a while, right? Because you've just been going back and forth, and if you do that long enough, like I did just now, you're going to find yourself, dropping like a fly. You're just going to have too much to bear, too much to hold for everyone else. You're not going to be able to ground and anchor yourself. So some of the advice that I have for some self-care practices is to write down your own personal goals this month. What do you want to accomplish? And this isn't about someone else. This isn't about your career or something else that is for someone else. This is just, what do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish this month? And write down that list, maybe 1 or 2 or even 3 things, and see what you can accomplish this month for yourself, for your own self-care. Another thing too, because we have this grounding message with the anchor here, is if you guys have ever done earthing or grounded meditation or something like that, this would be the time to do that, or look into what that's all about, where you just go outside and put your actual bare feet on the ground, if it's possible at this time, or possible where you live, and really put your feet in the dirt. If you aren't able to do that outside, gardening's a great way to connect with the earth in that way. So putting your hands in the dirt or something like that, holding rocks or crystals, something like that could be really good to connect you back to the earth and connect you back to yourself as well. There also is here the missing puzzle piece as well. So we have the puzzle piece charm, which can represent, a missing piece, or feeling like you could possibly be that missing piece, right? That you've just been going back and forth on, and then you realize, wait, I need to take care of myself. But I also see with this missing piece as well, or puzzle pieces, you're feeling puzzled about something. So definitely look into what that may be this month, because you are feeling puzzled, maybe also challenging. That's what I'm also seeing too, because, puzzles can be very challenging and mentally challenging, but you may be going through challenges this month that have to do with yourself and anchoring yourself that you have been kind of back and forth on, but there's going to be light shed on it, because we have right here next to the eye the sort of sun light shedding charm. So this is all about putting a spotlight on it, which I talked about earlier with the healing from the star card, right? So again, you're going to have to just put that puzzle piece away, or that missing piece that you feel like you can just give someone this missing piece and be like, here's the clarity you need, this is the healing you need, and instead just kind of keep that for yourself. As a more love related message here, we have the fall in love charm. So this can be with that budding that I saw earlier with bud, I bud, or you're budding in some way, you're growing. We have the fall in love charm. It used to say fall in love here. It doesn't really anymore, but I know what it means. And then you have here the growing charm. And because they both fell together, that makes me think that you definitely are going to be growing something. So like, again, a garden or something like that on a physical sense. But I'm also seeing here that you may be falling in love with someone, or really growing, and if you're already in a relationship, that's going to strengthen and grow a lot deeper, especially if you're letting go of control over them, or you're giving them their own independence, that is going to only bring you guys together and make it stronger. The last charms that you have over here is right after the full moon, heading towards the more reflective side of this side of the casting cloth and the moon cycle, is the very small buds. So these are like the very, very, very first buds that you would see on a tree. So this is like that delicate time where things could tip in your passion. So if you have passion projects that you're heading towards, this one felt more career-based or like romance-based. But over here, if you have these passions that you're trying to grow, or a very passionate romance with someone you're trying to grow, there's this need for reflection. So reflecting on past events with them, or reflecting on how things maybe didn't work in the past, so that you can have better loyalty, better boundaries, better understanding and respect from those people, or respect for yourself in where you're going and heading in these passion projects. You also have the abundance charm of the pumpkin seed here, which is all about abundance, because if you guys have ever opened a pumpkin, there are so many seeds inside, and so this is such a good message of letting you know that there are blessings, again, more tips coming in, more resources, maybe a payday, an extra payday or something like that that's showing up here for you, which is really exciting. And it's so close to the celebration charm. So like I said, you may be celebrating with people at this time on a soul level, or a more like very deep connective level with these people that you're very close to, a very close-knit group, and it may be because there is this beautiful abundance that's coming in, either in the form of abundance of gratitude, an abundance of something to celebrate, whatever it is, maybe new passions that you guys are all heading on, and you're reflecting on the past and, your respect for each other or something like that. It's going to, those types of celebrations and these new forms of abundance, even if that isn't monetarily, are going to help bring you towards this new cycle that you're heading on, this new growth that you're heading on within the next few months that are at the early stages of budding these passion projects or new passionate romances. But with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading here with me today. Group 2, you guys are always keep me on my toes, because I feel like a lot of you tend to choose, just because it's in the middle, I feel like a lot of people tend to choose group 2 because it's like the middle group, and you always keep me on my toes, because there's so many types of messages that come in. So if not all of these resonated with you, then feel free to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And feel free to use your own intuition too, to see what little nuggets you can pull out and frame within to your own intuition and your own practice, and even practicing with divination in that way. But yeah, like I said, feel free to let me know what you think of this reading down in the comments down below. Also, feel free to like this video. It helps this channel continue to grow, and I really do appreciate it, especially since we've just hit about 400 subscribers recently, and I am so proud of where we've gotten, and I'm so proud to be, at the heart of it for all of you, for these messages. And I'm not going to get into it because I just get all mushy, but anyway, if you'd like to subscribe and be a part of this beautiful community of kindred spirits, feel free to. And I also want to shout out a wonderful kindred spirit here that is a part of this beautiful community, and has been following me since maybe the very beginning of this journey here that I've had on this channel. And she's actually decided to start her own channel as well and do readings. So feel free to check out Rose's video in conjunction with this one. We're working together, where I do sort of the blessings that are coming in, but she's talking about more about what, like, little nuggets and reflections that you can take in, what you learned from within the previous month of April, so that you can head towards these blessings in May with a really good mind. And seeing as you guys had a lot of reflections coming in with that 7 earlier, it might be a great place to start. So feel free to give her some love. Her video will be down in the description below that you can go check out. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hello group 3, if you've decided to choose these purple flowers as well as this key, then this is the pile for you to look into your personal May blessings and the blessings that are coming in for you this month, as well as any energy and insights that we need to discover and look into and dive into. So we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be doing some letter tile casting, as well as get some oracle messages from the Celtic Lenormand Norman deck and the Language of Flowers deck, because I'm really feeling the florals of spring here where I am, but even if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, this will resonate beyond the flowers. But yeah, so we're also using the Muse Tarot today, and let's go ahead and start diving into your messages, Group 3. What do we need to know for energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 3, as well as any May blessings? So first off here, we have the 5 of Emotions. So let's see what else there is. Group 3 here. What do we know for Group 3 for their May blessings? And feel free to send your energy in and on through time and space here to see what's coming in for you and to connect further with the cards in this energy. So Group 3 here. What do we need to know for the blessings that are coming in for the month of May? Okay, so you also have here the 10 of Voices. For those of you who know tarot, you may be like, what is going on right now? But we're going to get some more information, don't worry. Sometimes blessings hide themselves in some of these types of cards. So let's see what else is coming in here for you, Group 3. So you also have here the 6 of Inspiration. Okay. Kind of a juxtaposition there once we got the 6 of Inspiration, so I'm really curious to get some more information and clarity here. So Group 3, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance, and mostly clarity for the blessings that are coming in here and being presented to us from Group 3. All right, so you have here Fuchsia, true feelings within you is all you need to know. So that is your oracle message here from the Language of Flowers. But we're also going to dive in with these Celtic Lenormand messages and see what else comes in here for you. Group 3, we're looking for the blessings here and clarity on these blessings for the month of May for Group 3. Okay, so interesting that you would get the key here at the bottom of that little pile. So you have the key showing up, and it doesn't show up all the time very often in my readings, so it's always quite a really beautiful message to get. And you have the numbers and playing card association of the 8 of Pentacles, or the 8 of Diamonds here, as well as the number 33. And you have this beautiful golden key, and you have the key here, and it's just so cool that that came up. So we'll see what that is talking about here in a moment. We're going to get your final message here with the watercolor affirmations. So let's go ahead and dive into those, but feel free to stay tuned later on, because we will be looking into your charms and the letter tiles to get some more information and higher details. So, this one was like shouting at me. Okay. So you have growth has to begin somewhere. And I was definitely getting this message already, this need for growth, this need for healing, this moving on, closure kind of sensation and energy here. And how that's going to be such a blessing for you, especially with the type of cards you're already getting here. So let's go ahead and start diving in here, Group 3, for your May blessings. All right, so like I said, for those of you who know tarot, with the 5 of Emotions and this 10 of Voices, especially alongside this true feelings and this key, there is this like a heartbreak. I'm feeling like a heartbreak, and this may not be heartbreak from a relationship necessarily, either family, friends, or a more like romantic relationship, which I'm really getting from that fuchsia card. But there is like, or even just like an opportunity that was missed, something where you're kind of having to grieve something, grieve a relationship, grieve something, or you're having to process true feelings and truth that has come up recently. And that's really just kind of hit you or hit home or really hit and created this hurt in your heart. And I'm not going to say that it's going to be easy or that it has been easy recently, but there is sort of this light coming out with this key. And a key represents opportunity, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to heal, an opportunity to move away from that darker side of that darkness that may be trying to blind you at this moment. But there is this key. And the other thing about key, like I was talking about, it does bring about truth. It does bring about certainty. It does mean that just because we have a key, do we want to open something? Do we want to reopen wounds so they can heal? Or do we want to reopen or rehash something out to find closure? These are questions you may be asking yourself this month. These may be situations you're having to look into and settle on, and having to really sit with those and process those types of emotions and feelings that you've been feeling recently. And there's this need to, there's almost this like, because you do have like the key, which I said is making you have to look at things from this truthful light. But the other thing too with the 5 of emotions is you typically see 3 cups that have been tipped over and 2 behind them that they're not noticing. So this is about having opportunity, but not going for it, not taking the key and taking that opportunity that you have, because it's almost easier to stay in the darker side, to stay in where things can't, you've almost found comfort from it. You found structure from it, or you found that, not that you're trying to wallow in it, but there is this like wallowing that's still happening, this waiting it out, this stagnation. And growth has to begin somewhere. Growth has to begin somewhere. And right now you're being called to find growth within yourself. And the other thing about the key too is it comes from inner knowing. It comes from your inner true self, right? Like this key is more symbolic of empowering yourself to move forward, bringing yourself the tools, the boundaries, the other ways of empowering yourself. Knowledge is a big thing that's coming in here for me. So like knowledge of how you got to where you are, knowledge and wisdom that comes from processing your emotions, processing a situation. Because if we just stay at the lowest of low and we don't try to find ways to either cope or move forward or come through that pain with wisdom and with reflection and closure. And even if you can't get closure with this person, because sometimes that is just not possible, it's even closure with yourself or with situations that you were presented with and put in at this time. And what I'm seeing here is that there is going to be growth if you decide to take it, because this is an opportunity given to you, and an opportunity isn't certainty. An opportunity is something that you can take willingly or take for yourself, but it isn't something you can it's not really something you wander down. I mean, you possibly might just start wandering down this path, but it's not you can always just put a brick wall up against it, right? You can close it off, you can lock it up forever and not use it as an opportunity for growth. But you have this blessing of an opportunity to grow, to heal, and it's whether or not you'll take it. And the other thing too, like I said, it's inner knowledge, because it says here within you is all you need to know. So like I said, I feel like if you aren't able to get closure with someone or with a situation right now, that may be different in the future, but at this current time, a lot of that's going to come from your own personal inner healing and allowing yourself to move on anyways. Because there's a lot of introspection, a lot of reflection that's coming in, because you see all this reflective energy, reflecting on what didn't work so you can move and heal and do better next time, and all that kind of energy. The other thing that I'm seeing here, though, in juxtaposition that is very different from your other cards, is you have the 6 of Inspiration, which is about being in the spotlight, putting yourself in the spotlight. So especially if you were in a relationship where you didn't get to shine your own light, you didn't get to shine and have your own opinions, or you were gaslit all the time, or there were certain reasons why you weren't able to really speak your own truth. This is the month that you get to speak your own truth again, that you get to allow yourself and express yourself for who you truly are, really come into your own as your own person, especially also if you were in an opportunity too, like if you've had a loss of career or something like that, you may be coming into a type of career now that is going to better suit you, maybe one that is in the spotlight, maybe something on stage or with theater or something like that, that is more creative or is a path that is more of a leadership than you had previously. Instead of being a follower, I really think that the blessing is that you're going to be the leader this month, even if you're not leading anyone but yourself. The other thing I do see with this card too is being recognized for your accomplishments. This is you're getting the awards, you're getting the praise, you're getting the wow, I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate where you're going and what you're doing. I'm very proud of you. Those types of compliments, not only from other people, but most importantly from yourself, and knowing that you have gone so far in your healing journey, and you've gone so far, and you've asked for the help when you needed it, and you've created and put yourself higher because you know you deserve more. And I really think that that's going to be the blessing for you, shining a light on yourself, shining a light on this situation so that you can grow and take this as an opportunity, and allowing yourself to have your true feelings be heard and be respected. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to your letter charms here, group 3. Like I said, there's lots of healing, a lot of growth, a lot of opportunity for you to grow and reflect, even if that's hard, even if that has to mean you have to open something back up. I really do think that that's going to be beneficial for you. So let's go ahead and see some names, dates, places, or oracle messages coming in with these letter tiles. So group 3 here, group 3, what do we need to know for group 3 within the month of May for the blessings that are coming in for group 3? Group 3, May blessings. Okay, so let's see. There was like one specific one that was like moving away from me. But we have here HBET, A, like estimated time of arrival is what I'm seeing here with an ETA. Maybe you're feeling like there's like deadlines that are coming up here, as well as DOE. So we've got DOE, which is about taking direction and heading towards your own path, and also knowing when you need to flee a situation as well is what I'm seeing here with Doe, because they can, be skittish, and they realize when a situation they need to break up from or move away from, knowing their own inner power and knowing their worth enough to leave a situation, but also that they do really stand their ground as well, right? So it's kind of playing off of those both. But like I said, there is ETA here, which is giving me like estimated time of arrival. I'm also seeing like astral, you know what I'm trying to say, like an ET kind of moment here too on a more spiritual level. So there could be messages coming in there in general that's coming up, but ETA is really just telling me like there's a new direction that you may be heading on, and you may be like this path, this like, you're like, fine, okay, I took the key, but how long is it going to take me? And I think it's knowing that there isn't going to be this clear, like it's just going to get those blessings by the end of the month. In 30 days you're going to be done. This is telling you that it may be a longer path. It may be, we can ask, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? But at the end of the day, all of our healing takes time, and it may happen many times in our lives where we have to keep reopening these wounds. But I really do think that it's about the journey versus what you're going to get at the destination. So let's see what else is coming up here. I also see heat showing up here. So we have heat. So this makes me think of like romance or heating things up or something like that, as well as anger, right? So I'm seeing that there could be that angry feeling with the dough where you feel like there's like backlash or like something like that where people aren't maybe respecting your boundaries or respecting where you're heading or something like that. And I just think that it's about you needing to stand your ground, but making sure that it doesn't come from anger and like this this like really aggressive energy, but instead feeling very secure and grounded in who you are and your identity and where you've come from, to know when you need to take them on and maybe like tell them off, and when it isn't productive. So that's also coming up here as well. I also see here bat, which can be more of an oracle message of like a bat or a, like what bats represent, that transformation that they can sometimes have, as well as looking at the darker side, but still taking flight, even in the dark of the night. That's what I'm also seeing with the bat. And also just like actually like a swinging bat, like the game baseball or something like that. I do see like he does bat, or she does bat, like you're finally getting up to bat, like where you can finally say what you need to say and take action on it. So maybe that's going to therapy or asking for help or something like that, or asking for that closure or making those plans. There is something coming up there with that, or maybe even taking up that new opportunity that's coming in with that key, as well as with the 6 of inspiration card, because that's all about you moving forward as well in your career or in some new like theatrical side of yourself or creative side. But with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to your charms, because I, as always, could speak forever on all of these different letters. But let me know in the comments down below. I'm always curious what you guys see in the different letters here that I am not seeing myself. And I always think it's a great intuitive practice for each of you as well to grow your intuition. So feel free to do that, not only with the letter tiles, but also the charms in the cards. And we'll go ahead and start with the charms. So let's see what's coming in for your May blessings, group 3. So group 3, what do the charms seem to tell us for group 3's May blessings? Energy, insights, and guidance for May, as well as the blessings and then clarity for group 3. Okay, I was feeling some chunky ones here for you guys. So let's go ahead and see what there is. I'm gonna pick up the ones that are upside down as always and see what else there is coming up here. We do have a cute little ladybug, which is really sweet. We also have the letter D and P showing up here, so we'll see what that's all about here. And then keep going. Actually, I'm going to put that one back in. I was just really still feeling it, like it just wasn't flipped the correct way. So, okay, let's go ahead and zoom you in so you can see more of what I can see here. And yeah, we'll get started here in your central ring. So the first thing that I noticed that was a message that didn't come through with the rest of your cards was a sort of celebration or an exchange of gifts or an exchange of information in that way. I just realized there's a letter hiding over here as well with the letter C. So I'm actually going to put that in here. So you have both C and D as well as P. But you have the mini celebrations charm showing up. So this is like someone understanding your accomplishments, like we were talking about with that 6 of inspiration, shining a light on it. Because I always think this looks like a little disco ball, like you're celebrating something, or you're dancing, or you're really getting, active in some way. But we have the present charm as well as the candle, the birthday candle. So this could be birthdays coming up, smaller celebrations, a new career that maybe is coming up here with this career charm. Good luck in that. Following your dreams and passions and those being, celebrated, or something like that is coming up here. Possibly with the letters P, D, or C. We also have with the present charm too, isn't just receiving gifts, but also, or even giving gifts, but also it's about being present in the moment. So if you've currently been trying to, like I said, lock yourself away and not allowing yourself to be present in the moment or present in your life, where you actually are you're not just like a walking zombie through it, but instead actually taking part in the celebrations around you, taking part in the gratitude, taking a part in what all of life has to offer, your true real feelings, and instead of pushing them down, expressing them and allowing yourself to express them through creativity. I think that that's really coming in there, possibly even through a new career path or something that you're shining light on there. Like I said, you also have the ladybug charm, which this is all about good luck coming your way, so that's wonderful to see. And then we also have with this P, we have it sitting in this here, I'll actually just pick it up. So we have here this P sitting inside the miscommunication charm. So like I said, you may not be able to get closure at this time with someone, and you're wanting to get closure, but you are, the communication has just been cut off with this person or with this situation in some way. And so by not having those lines of communication, you're going to have to just use your own inner knowing and intuition to move through that, especially if it's having to do with someone with the initials or connection to the letter P there. We also have here showing up near all of the rest of the charms, just on the outer ring, the flexibility charm coming next to the action moon of the first quarter moon. But we have the flexibility charms. This is just like a little elastic band, and it's about being able to flex. This could be flexing, like literally flexing your accomplishments or telling, getting so good or something like that, but making sure not to like get too big of like an ego with all of that. But the other thing that I'm seeing here is being able to take action on things and realizing you're going to have to be flexible with your events, with your planning this month. And that's more of just a message in general that you should take into account. The other things that I had here, and like I said, I feel like I just needed to keep this one in, is a long haul journey. So this is taking like an old wagon, right? We're not taking the express train. We're not taking like that really fast bus or the really fast plane that's going to get you halfway across the world in like 12 hours. This is old school. You have to take the longer path. That ETA is coming up here again, taking the longer path. And that's what's going to actually give you the wisdom that you need. And it's not staying like in everything every day. That doesn't mean just because it's a longer path you have to think about it every day and keep processing and working on it, because you still need to be present in your life in general with the things that you love and your passions. But you also have here next to this long haul journey, you have the courage charm. This says the spirit of courage on it with Helen Keller. So just because she had things that were in her path, that like 5 of cups energy is coming up here, where even though she had those cups that showed that she possibly couldn't be worth it or isn't good enough or whatever because of this or that, she still had the courage to keep moving forward, and knowing that she still had things to be grateful for, things to move forward for, things that she still had passion and excitement for life for, and making sure to still pursue her dreams and passions and goals, because you have the dream, believe, and imagine charm. So this is about needing to believe in your passions, allowing yourself to have a real inner knowing that you are worth something beyond the situation. It does not have to define you. It does not have to be the defining part of you. You have other things going on in your life that you can be not only grateful for, but also pursuing, enjoying, even romanticizing, whatever it is that is showing up there. And you also have the diverging path towards this is like the path of taking the shorter path or the longer path, and you have again the longer path, and you have it connected to the binding. So this is like, no matter what, if you take that key, you're still going to have to take the longer path. It doesn't mean it's going to be faster. So that's definitely just another courage message to keep on going. It may be longer, but if you be flexible about it and take action towards it, you're still going to end up in a better place than you were before. So with all of that said, I hope you enjoyed these messages of growth and learning this month. Let me know in the comments down below if you found this reading useful, if there were certain things that really spoke to you, or if you had certain letters that really spoke to you, or anything like that, or under the sun like that. Also, feel free to give this video a like if you really did like it. It helps this channel continue to grow, and I really do appreciate the beautiful community we're growing here, as we've just hit 400 subscribers. And it's not about the number, like I mentioned on my Instagram. It really isn't about the number. It's the fact that we're growing wonderful kindred spirits and a beautiful connection with each of you. So it's lovely to have you guys here, and feel free to subscribe if you're new. I'd love to have you guys join on in as well. But before I go, feel free to check down in the description to see Rose's beautiful channel and see what she has cooked up here for a monthly video in connection with this one, as she's a long-loved subscriber of mine, and I'd love to give you guys a little look-see into her channel. So that'll be down below as well, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.